The hardest, most challenging things about brain education is learning how to smile all the time. Yeah, I think our brains feel so much different now. Lighter, and bodies feel warmer, got the circulation going. Great. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about brain education, but sort of a speeded up version because you've already got a taste of it this morning. And to tell you about one very exciting project that we've been working on diligently is getting brain education online. So it's an online school, which in today's world is really exciting. Some of us don't have time to take classes, and we're trying to fit so much into our busy schedules that being able to do this online is pretty amazing, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it in your PJs. Right? Fantastic. Okay. So I hope that you'll participate. We are going to talk to you a little bit about the fine steps of brain education, and then we're going to experience a couple of the classes online. Okay? So, what do we know about the brain? We know that the brain is responsible for all of our human activities, right? Thinking, decision-making, so all of our cognitive activities. It's also responsible for many of the emotions that we feel, and also the brainstem, which connects the body and the brain, is really responsible for our autonomic system, things that we do automatically without even thinking. Our heart rate, our breathing. So the brain is really responsible for everything that we do. So what happens when we're stressed? Does our brain function really well? Not to its maximum. And I'm sure many of you have heard the statistics that we use our brain probably about 10% of its full capacity, which isn't really great, and we wonder why that is. So our brain, I like to use the analogy of a computer. I like that analogy. So our brain is like a computer. It can do many, many different things. And there's many wonderful programs in our brain. But we can't access all the programs. We don't know how. So that's really what brain education is. So we're trying to reduce the stress in our lives so that we can really maximize the functioning in our brains. So what is brain education? Basically, it's a systematic training that teaches us how to maximize the brain and use it to its fullest potential so that we can maximize all of those programs in our computer and yet maintain it at the same time. What happens if we don't upgrade our computers? Right? Sometimes we lose information, right? So in our brains we forget things, and so it's really important to maintain our brains and help to maximize all different areas of the brain. So a little bit about brain education mission is that we are sharing brain education on an individual level, so it's really to help you and benefit your health, your physical condition, your emotional condition, as well as your cognitive state. And then, outside of ourselves, we're also sharing that with others. So there's the opportunity then to share brain education and learn how to actually teach it. And as you can see, brain education affects all people, all different ages. So the first step of brain education, there are 5 steps. The first step is brain sensitizing, which really you have an opportunity through the 18 joint dance to open up your joints, to get the blood moving. And so the first step of brain education is to really awaken the body senses. So the first step was to move the joints. So if we do this right now, just very gently clasp your hands together and rotate your wrists. This is really important if you're on the computer all day. Right? Yes. Many of us have carpal tunnel. So even doing this very, very simple movement, you have the opportunity to flex the joints, get the blood flowing, and at the same time, you're beginning to open up the joints in your elbows. So begin to feel your elbows. When you do reverse direction, and you might find that one direction is easier than the other. Yes, that has to do with how we use our brain. And now begin to feel your shoulders. Even though you're just moving your wrists, you're becoming aware of your shoulders, tension in your neck. Very simple, very simple. And shake. Great. So that's brain sensitizing. The second step of brain education is versatalizing. And that is to help our brains be a lot more flexible. What do I mean by that? Some of us are right-handed, some of us are left-handed, right? Are there many people in the audience that are right and left-handed? Not many of us, okay? That means that you use your brains really well. So if you're right-handed, you're more left side dominant of the brain. If you're left-handed, you're more right side dominant. What happens when we maximize both sides? We begin to use our brain more. And so that's what brain versatalizing is all about. So here's an exercise. Many of you have done this before, so you should be really good at it by now. Okay, hands up. Wonderful. You know what's coming, right? Good. One thumb, one pinky. Very simple. Make sure, check. You might think your brain has told your hand one thumb, one pinky. Great. Okay. Now three, going to switch to the other side. Try not to think about it. Try and relax. Ready? Let's count three. Ready? 1, 2, and... Okay, now check. You still have one pinky, one thumb? Yep. A lot of us who've been doing brain education do. Some of us are challenged. Right, let's try again. Try and relax. And try to smile. Because you know what happened? You all went... Right? So what happened was the brain got tight. So you've got to relax the brain. And how you do that is very easily by smiling. Okay? So let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and... Better. Okay, let's do it 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. Thank you for trying. The important thing is, when you were doing this, what's going through your mind? Oh, this is hard. So when we learn new information, I know when I was in school, especially if it was something related to mathematics, automatically my brain shut down. And then I couldn't relax my brain and I couldn't take in the information. So helping to versatilize our brain is very important. Wonderful. Third step of brain education. Anybody know what it is? Refreshing. Refreshing. Refreshing is about learning to identify our habits and the motions that limit us in terms of our lives. So let's practice. Let's stand up. This is easy. And the kids, we call it woof woof game, tapping game. Find a partner. So whoever's sitting next to you, it's very simple, I promise. As long as you smile, it's easy. Okay, ready? So placing your hands in front of you, clap once.